Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As you know, I posted up on my last video that I got engine issues. I am gonna get the chance. I'm gonna pull the cap off, pull the spark plugs, do a compression test on it, and then we'll go further from there. We'll see what it's reading, and then try and diagnose what the issues are. So hang around. Let's get to it. Okay, let's get into this thing. What I want to do is I'm going to pull the plugs and we'll turn this around to where you can see what's going on. And they don't need to be super tight when you go put them back in. Just loose enough to where, tight enough to where they don't work their way back out. But you can see the plugs are really clean. So set them off to the side and got somebody pulling in. Be back. Okay guys, what you're gonna need is you need a compression tester. I've had this for a while. It's fairly accurate. Don't go cheap. And it comes with an adapter to where you can go do two different size plugs. But what you need to do is you screw it in where the spark plug was, and you want to have all the plugs removed so it spins freely. Open your throttle all the way. Don't have your choke on because you want it to breathe completely, as much air as possible. And we attach that. Make sure that it has a little Schrader valve on the side to release the air. And we're going to crank it over, and we'll see what kind of reading we get. And I bet you she's low. Crank it over till the needle stops, and we are just above 25, about maybe 30 psi. That is not good. I had a feeling that it was getting low on compression when I noticed that it was kind of tired, lacking of power. I got this motor with the boat, and it ran great last season when I first got it. So now we'll do this bottom cylinder. And we're closer to 40 on that one. So they are definitely both low. Now, that don't mean that it's the rings. That could be that I blew a head gasket. And since I'm thinking, usually if you blow a head gasket to where the gasket blows out on the sides of the piston, either this side, that side, top, or whatever, you'll have one low piston. Same with the bottom one. Now, if you blow the head gasket between the two, you're just pumping air between the two, so they will both be low on compression. So that's a thing I'm thinking of possibly could be the issue. So from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the coils, which are hanging on the side of the head on this side, and I'm going to pop the head off just to see what head gasket looks like. So first I'm going to pull the thermostat. I've been thinking about changing that out. I want to see what it looks like. I haven't done it. I should have done that when I first got the motor, but it is what it is. I already loosened these pretty much so they're pretty much by hand tight right now. Set all these off to the side. It is spring loaded, so you'll want to push in on the cover. And this is a late 80s motor because the thermostat is up top. Prior to, like, I'd say 85 or so, don't quote me on it, but they were down below and they were a pain to really get to. So there's the spring. And that thermostat don't look too bad. It's kind of grimy, but I know it's been working. And the way you can test this is just get some boiling water, and you can see if the spring collapses, toss it in there, and if it moves, then you know it's still good. But I'm going to leave that off for now, and I'm going to start tearing to get that front end off. Without losing my bolt. I could have just took them all the way out. We'll set that there. Let me look at that for a second. Everything looks good in there. Just need to clean up the surface from the gasket material. I don't see burn marks in between on this side. Looking at the cylinders, I can see that's all up because I sprayed oil into the cylinder to see if it was the compression, and it bumped it up a little bit. So that's why you're seeing all this. This is a oil residue from I don't want to bend it because I do not have another gasket. just yet. If I want to, there we go. That gasket is looking good. You would, if you had a blown head gasket, it would be burnt between the between the edge of the cylinder where it ran on out. So it would be blowing air out, or in between the two cylinders, which this one is not. So that is a good sign that it's not a head gasket. Set that off to the side for now. And I need to do something with this. I could unplug the wires to it. They just pop off. They're just the ignition down to the from the under the flywheel. So that's out of the way. Bring it up top. I'm going to clean the cylinder as best as I can. That's at bottom. From what I am seeing so far, I'm seeing cross hatching. What you're wanting to look for, I'll bring you in here closer. Okay, what I am seeing, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but there still is cross hatching. And what you're going to feel is you're going to take your fingernail and you're going to run it along the cylinder. And if you feel gouges this direction, usually that means wear with the cylinder sides, or the rings especially. Let's bring this down to the bottom end. Clean that up. I am seeing cross hatching. I am not feeling anything. So the next thing we need to do is I want to check to see if I can see the rings. There is very little play, and there is a little play. So it's a good possibility the rings are worn out. Oh yeah, look at the slop on that. So I'm almost going to guarantee that it needs a re-ring, which means that with these motors, I'll show you. Okay. Freaking neighbor, scared shit out of me. Ain't nothing new around here though. Okay. What you have to do to re-ring these, you can't just pull the cylinder head off. It's a two-piece block. Right here is where it separates, where the crankshaft meets the bottom side of the crank and your intake reeds. So that means that you got to pull the flywheel, pull all the internal, pull the motor out of the base of it, and split the block. And then you can pull your crankshaft, which you will pull your pistons, connecting rods, and all in one shot, and then you can re-ring it. But at that point, so you're at that point where you got it tore apart, why not, if you're going to go the whole way, why not just re-gasket everything? Why not put new pistons in it, new rings, new wrist pin bearings, connecting rod bearings, seals, the whole schmear, just freshen up the whole motor. You got to go that far anyways. And the problem is at that point, you could just use the old pistons, but until you get it apart and find out where you're at, if you need to replace them. You replace new piston rings, new piston rings, bearings, gaskets, everything, you're looking at about $700. If you're at the point to where you need to have it bored, now you're talking oversized pistons, the bore job, which is going to be anywhere from 150 to 200 bucks. It's usually, it depends where you go. I can probably get this done, both holes, for about $60 a hole. So about 120 bucks. Then plus the pistons, oversized pistons, the gaskets and everything, you're going to have more than what the motor is worth. A running 9.9 Johnson, mid to late 80s, in top-notch condition, are selling anywhere for, in my area, $900. All depends. Is it going to be worth my time? But what I'm going to do, since I'm this far right now, I'm going to move you back, and I'm going to pull the water, the intake and exhaust side over here to get a good look at the skirts and the rings. Okay guys, sorry if it's windy. It just started picking up. I'm going to probably call it quits here pretty soon. But this is where as far as I got. I got the honestly, I can't get to that one bolt because it's underneath the rubber motor mount, which is right there. Can't get in from this way because of the pisser nipple that's coming out of the plate. I removed the shifter linkage, removed the neutral safety switch to gain access to try to gain access to that bolt. So I got that far. I got the hose out, the fuel hose out of the way. I tore it, so but I can just cut that back and redo it. But so I decided what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to pull the power head out because it's just going to need a rebuild anyway. And you can't split the case much on everything else. So right now I'm working at this side, trying to get this starter out. If I can lighten the load of getting it removed, then be a lot easier to pull this motor. I'm going to get this starter out. Then I got to pull the fuel pump, disconnect the hose, which goes here for the fuel line. I'll say one thing though, it has been fairly easy. There they go again. I bet you any money I'll have to pull that flywheel to get that bolt out. Almost guarantee it. I can almost just see it right now. They make it so it's, oh, you gotta remove this and that to get to that. Yeah, I can almost see it now because it's bited into the flywheel teeth. What do you freaking know, right? So I'm not going to bore you guys with it. I'm just going to keep at it till I can get the power head up and out. Because I am just going to I'm going to start the rebuild on it, but I don't really want this motor in for the boat. I'm wanting a a 20 horse because that's the limit for in PA, and this boat is heavy, and I think that's going to be enough to get it up on plane. But around here, a lot of guys go. It says 20 horse, but is it really? So we'll go that route. But hey, keep your eyes open for part 2 on this. I may shoot some more footage or some photos of getting this thing out and on the bench at the end, here toward the end of the video. But that's where I'm at. I can't go fishing with the boat because I don't got a motor. So I'm kind of in limbo. I got to decide what I'm going to do. If I'm going to spend the extra money and just go buy myself a brand new motor, hey, might have to do that. But at this point in time, with the bank account, it's gonna take a little bit. May have to sell a few things just to make up some of the money toward it. But we'll see. But yeah, if you like this stuff, go ahead and click the subscription button. Mash the bell notification. Click all. That lets you know whenever I post new content. Give me a big thumbs up, not the finger. Leave a comment. I always try to reply to my comments, and it's a good way for me to find your channel. But as always, we'll see you out there. Bye.